the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The divine masculine energy, the divine feminine energy. People who say that, off the bat, don't know what they're talking about. Shock! Horror! How dare he say that? Divine feminine means energy. Literally. Feminine means energy. Shakti, energy. Isis, energy. Divine masculine means consciousness. Shiva, Osiris. So forget nonsense of divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy. But what we are going to talk today about is the sacred energies, the feminine part. Nothing to do with women. Nothing. We can say masculine as and feminine. We can say black and white. The black path and the white path. Oh, we can't say the black path. The dark path. We can say the left-hand path, the right-hand path. Oh, we can't say the left-hand path. It's funny how dualistic ideas suddenly all revert back to good versus bad, the most basic program that is plugged into you in every television series, in every television movie, in every advert, in everything. Every children's story, it's about good and bad. The light and the dark is good and bad. Why is the night bad and the day good? I don't understand. The day is good because we can't see the stars, because all we see is cloud and blue skies. And the night is dark because we get to see the Milky Way? What? No, because in the night there are creepy animals that come out that can kill us, like lions and cheetahs that hunt during the day. Huh? We're going to look at today 2 of the 3 internal energies. 1 we can call the sensual essence, or within Neo-Tantra, the Tantric energy, and the Kundalini energy. That's the other one. Now, some people will say sacred sexuality. No. And the reason I'm going to say no is because it's not. It's more to do with sensuality. Your sensual essence. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It has nothing to do with any physical touching of any sort, of anyone, of any being. It is about that sensual essence within us. That Jing, that power of creation. And when I say power of creation, I literally mean the power to create new life. That's what we're talking about by creation. Yeah? Men have part of the power, women have part of the power, and when they come together, it creates the whole power. Nothing to do with masculine and feminine. It's just, we have the power of creation within us. The physical components of that, perhaps part of the physical component is held within the man, and part of the physical component is held within the woman. But the essence is the essence. The sensuality is the sensuality. This does not differ between men and women. Only programming makes it different. How it flows within the body, the timing of the body, perhaps is slightly different. But the energy itself is the same. How do we know this? Because when we go into these sensual practices, the results are the same. They do not differ between men and women. They can result in multiple full body ecstatic orgasmic releases in both men and women. What you see physically from the movements are the same. What people describe after is the same. So we have this sensual energy, and we have the Tantric Shakti, to give it a name, or the Sensual Shakti would be a better word in English, because Tantra involves so much. It's such a huge, giant word. And the Kundalini Shakti. The easiest way to make the sensual Shakti flow is up the front. And this is what we do in our tantric practices, where we're getting the tantric energy to flow, when we're talking about working with pleasure. That is the first way we get it to flow. Once we have it flowing up the front, we can then transition this. Once it's stable and easy, it's the easiest way to do it. We can then transition this to the spine. By transitioning the flow to the spine does not suddenly make it Kundalini Shakti. That comes from the root, as in the coccyx. Don't need to go anywhere near the coccyx to do this. So we pull the sensual energy into the spine, which very powerfully, in sensual, ecstatic feelings, can also clear all the blocks within the spine in a very pleasurable way. It is a way of working with pleasure. Once the spine has been cleared with essential energy, it opens that back pathway for Kundalini Shakti, because Kundalini Shakti does flow in the spine. When you awaken the different energies, you will notice they have different frequencies. Now, within the spine, prana can flow, the sensual energy can flow, and the Kundalini Shakti can flow. Try and get that Kundalini Shakti to flow up the front. Good luck. Try. Okay? I'm not going to tell you whether you can or you can't. I'm going to tell you to try it and see if it happens. Despite all the text saying it only flows up the spine, it's the spinal energy. It's that cosmic energy. Have a go. See if you can do it. Then you will realize that you don't. And then you will realize that it is that sensual energy. Now, of course, prana can also flow up the front, and prana can flow up the back. Prana is the most basic of energies. Chi prana. That can flow everywhere. It flows down into the hands and the fingers and in the ears and the eyes and into the toes, and yeah. The sensual energy, concentrating. We can say it is chi, it is prana flowing through certain parts of the body, create essence. We have a certain amount of that essence, which we are born with. And as they say, as you get older, you lose, but you can cultivate it much like muscles going to a gym. You can cultivate it and you can sustain it. This is part of what Tantra, especially the neo-tantric practices, practice. And you can hold that and become a very sensual being, having a very animal magnetism to you. And that flows, as I said, primarily up front. And then we have the Kundalini. I wasn't going to talk about prana here, but well, it's come out just to make sense. And so the Kundalini Shakti is not an energy that feels natural to the body. The sensual energy feels very natural. Anyone who has been, the expression, turned on knows this energy. The problem is, after certain encounters, they were turned on by certain things. After encounters, they get turned off again and go back to normal life, right? Rather than learning to turn themselves on and stay turned on. Part of what happens in some energy practices, especially the tantric ones, is learning to turn this on and keeping it on. And the whole way you live your life is very different through turning this on and living through that tantric abundant lifestyle, through that creative essence energy. But then we have the other sacred energy. Of the three, we're talking about the two more powerful ones, because prana, yes, it's a sacred energy, but it's very easily accessed. Yeah. Then we have this Kundalini Shakti, which feels foreign to the body. I'm not saying it is foreign, I'm saying it feels foreign. This is why we call it the cosmic energy. And the tantric or sensual energy connects us to ourself. It connects us to our being. Yes, it can break down the program, but it connects us to us. It makes us whole. It makes us very magnetic. It makes us very charged. It makes us full of life. Kundalini Shakti connects us with the exterior, because the whole purpose of Kundalini Shakti is to connect us to Shiv, Shiva, Osiris, consciousness. Not internal, not self-consciousness, higher consciousness. That's why when they say Shaktipat, they say true Shaktipat. So we have different types of Shaktipat. But if we talk about proper Guru Shaktipat, when we go far enough, we should actually use the term Shaktipat and Shivapat. It's just Shivapat never really got coined as a term in most circles. But they say true Shaktipat is when the guru gives to you the full understanding of the universe. And it's not the guru gives it to you. The guru enables you to connect to Shiv, and Shiv is consciousness, and therefore you have the understanding. This is what I do on my trainings. Now, this is for the people who are ready, for the people that put in the work. So not everybody gets to the same stage, but I work one-on-one with people. And so the people that put in the work, that get to that stage, that is how far you can get within the trainings of the first level, to connect to that, to understand that. Yeah. This is why my trainings aren't 3 days in group retreats. Yeah. For people that have a certain amount of practice and they're at a certain level, perhaps they've been doing Qigong for 20 years or internal alchemy, they can do the practice of a 3-month intensive. Or there is the 52-week course, so minimum 3 months, if not going to work more thoroughly, more basically through different things to prepare. It's a year. Yeah. 3 days and boom. Yeah. But it is to prepare you to go that far. There is no guarantee you will connect to Shiv within the course, but that is the aim. Some people do get there, some people don't get there. Everyone connects to Shakti. Everybody opens up. Everybody connects to prana. Everybody connects to the tantric energies, the sensual energies. Because you have to connect to the prana and the sensual energies to get to the level to be able to get and access Kundalini Shakti. These two sensual energies People talk about shifting timelines, changing your reality. These two energies, as opposed to prana, where prana or chi, we can go and do qigong, we can chill out, do a qigong practice every morning, we can feel good. It's not going to change. It will change our reality because we will be in a more peaceful state. We won't be affected as stress. We'll be more healthy. So therefore, in a certain way, it changes. It will shift our timeline over time. But these sacred energies will shift our realities, our timelines profoundly if we put in the work. People talk about, let's do this guided meditation, and suddenly you'll have a quantum shift and suddenly be. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That can be true if you want to basically kid yourself. I'm not saying hypnosis can't do it. Hypnosis is very powerful if done correctly. But a quick guided meditation, you can have a tiny shift and think you've got there. But trust me, when you connect to these energies, you'll realize that hasn't been the case. It's much like Kundalini activation. They say it's all about the Kundalini, and it's not. And when you connect to Shakti Shiv, it's so much more than Kundalini activation. Kundalini activation is energy healing. It is clearing traumas and feeling at home in your body. Awakening is a whole nother level. If you're interested in going deeper with any of these topics, come find me at theawakenenergy.com. Come train with me. Work. If you want to, even after the training, you can work with one of these energies specifically, if you so wish. There are certain levels of tantric energy. There are some very famous people that work purely with the tantric energy, and they've made very good businesses out of it. If you wish to do it for a business, if you wish to dedicate your life to it and live off it, there are some people that have made a lot of money just with that one alone. But you can also use the prana. You can use the Kundalini. In my courses, you learn it all in the trainings. If not, subscribe to the channel. Keep learning. Keep understanding. Bit by bit, through my videos, you'll start to get a broader picture. If you contrast that with reading books on the topic, with listening to other people, compare and contrast, you're going to get a wonderful picture. You can go to my other channels, my Shaktipat channel, my Reiki channel for transmissions to help you on your journey. Yeah, look them up. See you in another.